Hey guys, welcome to the new movie. Today we're doing Wrath of Becky, the sequel to the movie Becky. I reviewed Becky a good while ago, probably a couple years ago now, but we're finally getting to Wrath of Becky. I know it came out like last year or something, or the year before. I think it was maybe last year. Or maybe the year before. I think it was last year. Finally getting to it. We watched it again with my dad. We did it on Father's Day because he wanted to watch a movie. And I'm like, let's watch that movie. It's a good movie. It's good. It's violent, and obviously a mature movie, violence, cussing, all this stuff. But it's a fun, like, little girl doing a revenge story again because he did in the first movie, and now he's doing it again. So let's jump into general thoughts. Like this movie. I really like this movie. It's one I can easily watch again. It's good. I think this one and the first one are great movies. These are high regards to me. I really like these movies, so let's jump into it. So if you don't know what happened in the last one, quick recap. It's gonna be super quick. Nazi, neo-Nazi people attacked her. They're looking for this key, which he has now, but we still don't know what the key does yet, but interesting to see where that goes. And then they killed her father and one of the dogs they had, and then there's this other girl with her son who was dating like the dad or trying to get together, but yeah. They are not in this movie, so don't worry about them. That's like not a plot point. Then it gets to, obviously, she has to go on a rampage and kill all the neo-Nazi guys. So she knows how to kill some guys and kick some ass. So I start off with this movie, for her being like, she has to be like a, like an orphanage or a thing where they take girls and like, what's the word for? Where they have to give her like a new home because she didn't have family, and that's the whole point of her getting a new family. And she's acting all like perfect and like, oh, this place is so perfect and everything's so perfect. And it's like, if she sells the dog, it's like, okay. And then she has to eventually, she's basically playing the fool, and she eventually runs away. And then it cuts to the credits of the movie, where it shows her like breaking in and doing this stuff, and then eventually she meets this old lady who helps her, and she's been living with her for like a year, so now she's paying away with rent, and she walks at a diner and stuff, and she does some training and doing stuff, so she's still like kicking ass and taking names, or at least training, and she's still a little bit of a badass. And then she's working at the diner, and we hear on the radio about these things called the, I don't remember what they call it, the new men, who are like a group of people who are like really bad and awful and do like, obviously like a bad group of people who have really different opinions of the war and stuff. Okay, so we're at the diner, these guys show up, new men, whatever, they are the bad guys, they show up at the diner, and they're doing a bunch of stuff. I was being dick, saying a bunch of awful shit. And then Becky goes over, sips some coffee, and basically takes the coffee, sits on the table, and like slides in and falls into his lap, and then the one guy gets mad and goes after her. It's like later follows her back to her house when she goes to sleep, and then obviously goes into the house, basically attacks her. The dog tries to attack him, but he hits the dog. The other guy comes in like, whoa, what's going on? And then the grandma comes in, like, catch a gun, and then basically she shoots her, and she dies, and then Becky gets knocked out, and then Becky wakes up and it's like, okay, I'm gonna go, I gotta get my dog back, but he also killed this person I really cared about, I'm gonna go and fuck you up. So she basically does a montage where she gets ready and goes to fuck him up. It shows them getting there, they lie about the dog and everything, what they did and why they were late, and they talk about what's going on. There's this rally, there's the senator, we're gonna kill her, probably blow up or kill her, do stuff, and fuck up stuff. And so obviously she eventually shows up, she figures out what the plan is, what's going on. She secretly finds out what the plan is, and then she goes on a killing spree. The first guy she kills is the guy who she spills coffee on, who seems like a badass dude, like a guy who's like not gonna, you know what I mean, seems like a tough guy. But I love how he seems like such a tough guy. He seems like, out of all the people there, he's like the second toughest. And the minute after she chases after Becky, because they find out she has to drive and all this stuff, he opens the door, and he's like, no. Basically has a bomb in his mouth, and he has tape all around it, and when he opens the door, pulls the thing, his head explodes, and he's like, you can see he is fucking scared as shit. Like, he is so scared. It's in a way where it's like, holy shit. This guy was like just a badass, and now he's like, he's a fucking baby. Like, I love how his mood, he seems just like a badass, but now he's like so scared. It's like, I'm like, yes. He blows up, he dies, and then Becky goes on like killing spree and kills the rest of them. Also, earlier in the movie, she goes, because they find out only 2 people have this name or whatever, or who they were talking about. She goes to the first person, it's this old lady, so like, oh, different house. And then we get to later, after she killed a bunch of them, somebody, we find out who this person is who was running all this, because we don't know who it is. There's somebody who's running it all. It was the old lady, so she has to fight her now too, and then has to fight the other guys, and basically by the end she kills them all. One of the guys goes away. Also, the one guy who was like not sure about this, was like, hey, you lied to me, this is not great. The guy who was running the like little place came over like, hey, boom, killed him. So that guy was like, okay, you feel like you were lied to a lot of stuff. You're the one guy I'm like, you're the one of those good people, enough people I would say, you're not bad. I wouldn't say you're 100% bad. Like I said, you just thought it was just a rally and you were just doing like your regular, like, protesting, that kind of stuff, not like killing and shooting and doing all this crazy shit. It's very good. I like the movie. Becky obviously gets the revenge, and at the end, it's sort of with the CIA, like, hey, you did all this stuff, got this drive, you know what this is, all this stuff. You want to work for the CIA? And she's like, yeah. And then it shows her at the end, and this is the one guy who escapes. He's like pulling up in like a cop car. It's like, oh shit, I gotta get out of yeah, opens up and then you find out it's Becky and see it's like a big picture and she's like, oh, fucking shit. Blows it up, that's where it ends. It's great. Love it. Fun movie. I really enjoyed it. And I'm excited. They all talks about maybe doing a third one, like being a trilogy, I hope. This is great. The first two are great and I would love more of this. Obviously, you can't really do so many, but this is great. I want at least one more, like a trilogy ender. This is great. I like this one a little bit more than the last one, but the last one was good as well. I want to give this one like a 10. I just like it. What do you guys think of Wrath of Becky? Let me know in the comments down below. You guys can always stay epic. See you in the next movie, you guys. Bye.